What's going on, everybody? It is Helmke live here on another wonderful fucking Wednesday, right? Wonderful Wednesday. It's another episode of the Ham Podcast, number 48 to be exact. Hey, thank y'all for joining me tonight, everybody. Glad that you're here. Man, what a wonderful week it has been, right? I don't know about you all, but in my neck of the woods, the weather has been wonderful. My week started off well, right? Let's just jump right in. My week started off well because the Eagles lost their first game of the season. Thank you, Washington Commanders. I'm so happy the Eagles lost. I was tired of them winning and thinking that, they're the best thing since sliced bread. So happy the Eagles lost. That started off my weekend the right way. But we got a big show ahead for you all. Got a lot to talk about, right? I'm excited. This week is going to be looking forward to a good week, right? So far, so good. Heck, what? Like I said, the Eagles lost. It's already Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. What's going on? Welcome in. Again, I am live here on Twitch with the Ham Podcast and live on Facebook at the same time, the Ham Podcast Facebook. If you want to follow us on Instagram because you haven't, I don't know why, fucking explain this to me. You can go to _H_A_M_podcast. And our Twitter is the _ham_podcast. Welcome in Pedro Cantu. Pedro over here watching on our Facebook podcast. And then I'm here on Twitch as well. So let's jump right in, right? Ham Podcast rules. There are no rules, sir. Well, of course there's rules, right? But we're a pretty open podcast. So let's jump right in, right? We're speaking of rules, right? And there's certain rules that shouldn't be broken in today's day and age. And one of those rules is racism. Well, my state had a bit of a black eye this weekend, right? So down in Pflugerville, Texas, I say this because this is how the article on CNN was. Let me post it here in the chat comment, right? A white teacher was fired from a Pflugerville middle school because of some racist comments. So during the class, the teacher had said that he was ethnocentric, which means that he believed his race was the superior race, right? And one of the kids started filming. And the teacher knew it. The teacher knew he was filming. And the kid said, well, when you say superior race, are you telling me that you're racist? You think your race is the best? And the teacher says, yeah, I 100% believe my race is the best. He goes, and I think we all feel that way. And it's a little bit shocking, right? Because you've got this teacher here that is filled with a class full of mixed ethnic backgrounds, according to the article, right? So there was probably white kids, Mexican kids, black kids, Asian kids, who knows, right? But a mixed class of ethnic backgrounds. And you've got this teacher telling them, a white teacher telling them, I believe my race is superior to all other races. And another kid asked again, he goes, so you're saying you're racist? The teacher says, yeah, I am. And another kid goes, so what you're telling me is you think you're better than us? And he goes, I feel that my race, and he doubled down on it. The teacher doubled down, man. Was it the stupidest thing that he could have done? Absolutely stupidest thing that teacher could have done. Obviously the teacher's fired. They haven't disclosed what the teacher's name was. It was a male. They haven't disclosed his name yet, but he's been fired. The superintendent of that district in Pflugerville said that he was not going to stand for it. That's not what they stand for in the Pflugerville school district, which, he has to say, of course, right? Which I'm glad he did. He came out, immediately did that. But, teacher doubled down on camera, said, yeah, I'm 100% racist. And I believe my race is superior to y'all's and everybody else's out there. I tell you what, man, I went to a middle school to where some of y'all are on here, right? Some of y'all are watching live on Facebook and on Twitch, right? Y'all went to middle school with me. And we went to a middle school that probably the kids in there wouldn't have let that teacher get away with it, right? We probably would have stood up and tried to fight the guy. In this case, thank God the students didn't, right? No student got up and tried to fight. They just filmed it. They released it on their social media. Parents saw it. School district saw it. But just, just an absolute idiot from that teacher. I don't know, man. You work your whole life to get to what you want to be, which is a teacher, and you went through school and you paid for these classes and you did all this, and then you ruin it with the stupid comment of I believe my race is superior to y'all's. Absolute idiot. Can't underline, can't state how dumb that was. Speaking of stupid teachers, another one in a different state, don't remember off the top of my head, but it was a female teacher this time. She also has an Onlyfans, and her and her husband decided that they were going to film some content for their Onlyfans website or Onlyfans site in the classroom. Now, obviously, there were no kids there, right? It was an empty classroom. It was after school had closed. But nonetheless, they went and filmed their OnlyFans exclusive content, right? We're not talking feet here. We're not talking bathing suits here. We're talking the down and dirty, baby. Normally what you would see on the hub, right? But they filmed some content in the classroom. Obviously, somebody somehow found out. And yeah, she was a teacher, and he was a teacher as well at the school. Yeah, they were both teachers. And so they're both been fired. I saw the picture of the teacher. She wasn't even all that great looking, right? But it's like, come on. It's like, come on, lady. I get it. Teachers don't make a lot of money, so you got to have that second income. I'm not here to turn my nose down at anybody on OnlyFans. I respect the hustle. Make your money. Respect the hustle. But why would you jeopardize your hustle by going and doing it in the classroom, right? You're probably going to get caught. One of your students knows you're on OnlyFans and is probably paying to see it, and you don't realize it, and now you're fired because they're like, oh shit, that's the classroom. That's where I sit. Oh, he got her bent over on my desk. Like, hold on. And it got out, and now you're fired. So we got two idiots of the week, right? One's a racist, and one can't film content in their own house. Keep it in the house. Hell, you want to do this extreme content? Go to a park after hours. Go to a movie theater while it's empty, right? Go somewhere. Don't do it at your other job, you big dummy, because now you're back to only one income. Jesus, I hope you making money on OnlyFans, woman, because if not, you're fucked. You just lost your regular paycheck, and so did your husband. So I hope you're making good money on there, because about to be on that welfare line, right? That food stamp line, because now you ain't making no money. So teachers, we gotta do better. I don't know what's going through y'all's head, but we got to do better, teachers. Please, once again, I'm here live on Facebook, live on Twitch. But yes, so we just to recap, we've got one teacher here in Texas fired for being a racist this week, and another teacher from another state fired for filming OnlyFans content in the classroom. Like I said, classroom was empty. There weren't any students, but nonetheless got out, and just an absolute bonehead of a move, right? Just complete bonehead. Let's move on, right? I'm tired of talking about boneheads. Well, I guess we can't stop talking about boneheads yet. So for all y'all out there, right? All y'all rap fans, we all know who Blueface is, right? Probably his most popular song, or at least to me, his most popular song, Drop Down Tatiana, right? Well, now this motherfucker's arrested. Blueface has been arrested, and he was arrested in Las Vegas during an undercover operation for felony attempted murder with the use of a deadly firearm or tear gas. Reports say he's also charged with discharging a gun into a house, building, vehicle, or craft. The incident reportedly took place on October 8th. Guys, rappers, if you're watching, right, we got to stop doing hood shit when you get to a certain level of money. All right, when you're making a certain amount of money, you gotta stop doing the hood shit. The whole point, right? Let me clarify what I'm saying here. It's okay to be hood. I came from the hood, right? I grew up on the east side. I grew up on the northwest side, right? I didn't grow up in very nice neighborhoods, right? And normally when you don't, the goal is to succeed in life where you can move you and your family out of the hood, right? Because the hood is not a great place, right? But these rappers, especially these rappers, these are the main ones, right? They make these millions and millions of dollars, and they want to go back to the hood, and they want to prove that they're still hood, and they want to do hood things. Well, guess what? You're not that hood anymore, right? And there's always going to be somebody out there who's a little more ruthless, who's a little more I don't give a shit, right? And if they can make a name off of you, they're going to do it, right? And guess who has the most to lose? You do, because you're the one with the millions of dollars, right? So all these rappers out there, you got millions now, and you still want to do hood shit. Stop. You got the money, you used your talent, you used your gift to get out of the hood, right? To be successful. Why are you still trying to do hood shit, right? Rest in peace to Takeoff, right? But he's in the hood, and then a hood that's not his, right? Stop trying to play dice in the hood. Go play dice with other millionaires. Go play dice with people who care about their lives and don't mind getting shot, right? Or don't want to get shot, should I say. Don't play with people who don't care, right? Stay your ass in the nice neighborhood, because that's where you live now, right? Or better yet, invite your hood friends that you can trust to your house, so you don't have to worry about being shot. So you rappers out there that are making these millions and have worked your way out of the hood, stay your ass out of the hood, because somebody out there is trying to make a name for themselves off of you. So stop it. All right. Once again, guys, this is the Ham Podcast. Welcome in. I see I got viewers on here, right? We got viewers. I'm going live, streaming live on Facebook, the Ham Podcast, streaming live on Twitch simultaneously on the Ham Podcast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can go to the _ham_podcast, right? So let's talk a little sports, right? Let's get away from the idiots for a little bit, right? The Odell sweepstakes. We've been talking about this. OBJ, he's now saying by the end of this month, he's going to make a decision on who he's signing with. I'm excited, right? As a Cowboys fan, we're in his final cut, apparently. And according to his high school coach, right? His high school coach is saying, hey, Dallas is a real possibility. He has family in Texas. He's got family in Dallas, right? I see you, Azalea. I'll try to get you connected here in just a second. But he's got family here, and so Dallas is a real opportunity. But I tell you what, if we keep playing the way we played against Green Bay, his ass ain't gonna want to come here. He already said he wants to go to a contender. We need to step our game up, Cowboys. That was a game that we should not have lost, and we did. Get it together, Cowboys. That was a gimme. Luckily, Philadelphia lost, right? So that helps us still. But come on, man. We shouldn't have been in that. We shouldn't have been in overtime. We should have ended that game a lot sooner. Disappointing, but it's all right. Now we got to go play Minnesota, right? The team, same division as the Packers, but this is a team who's 8-1 and is thriving. They won 7 games in a row. They're doing an amazing job, right? Kirk Cousins is playing lights out. He's in the MVP talks. Jefferson says he's the best receiver in the league. Dalvin Cook is looking rejuvenated, right? So this is a defense that's playing well. We better be ready, because if we're not ready, let me tell you something. Minnesota will beat the shit out of us. So Cowboys, be ready for Sunday, right? And now we've got this short week, right? We play Sunday, then we play Thanksgiving, then we play the following week again, right? So we've got these 3 games in like 10 days or something like that, somewhere around there. We need to be ready, and hopefully we get Zeke back soon. Not because Tony Pollard is doing horrible. The man is doing amazing. But what we don't want is for him to carry the load and him to get injured. And now we've got 2 injured running backs, right? So when Zeke's in there and Tony's in there, we can split the reps. Neither guy gets too tired. So obviously we want both running backs, right, to share that load. But looking forward to it, man. Cowboys, we're coming to that part of the season now where this is where we determine, right? This is where we find out, are we a real contender, or are we pretending again, right? So we're gonna find out now. This is what it's all about, Cowboys. I'm excited though, very excited. We're done with midterms, right? We're done with midterm elections. I know we don't normally talk politics on here, but one thing I'm gonna say, that motherfucker announced he's running 2024. Donald Trump has announced that he will be running. Oh, I got you. Oliver, what's going on, my man? Welcome in, Oliver. Also want to welcome in Hector. Those are my homies from way back, like 4 flats on a Cadillac. We got Pedro in here. We got Mr. Lionel Lucky, one of the best receivers the state of Texas has ever seen. We got Coach Campos in the building. We got Elroy Helmke. I mean, the list goes on and on. But yes, Oliver, let me tell y'all something about Oliver. He is the man with the plan from Yucatan, baby. So welcome into the Ham Podcast, Oliver. So happy for you to join us. Guys, if you haven't gone to our Twitch site yet, you can go. I put the link in the Facebook earlier, or you can go to Twitch and you can search the Ham Podcast, all one word, all lowercase, the Ham Podcast. What does it stand for? Well, I used to have a co-host named Mike, right? So it was Helmke and Mike. Mike's on a little bit of a hiatus right now. He's got to take some time off. But for now, Ham, you see the logo. I'm a fat boy. Ham, fat boy, that's what I do, baby. All right, so this is the Ham Podcast where we talk everything big. All right, so let's get back to it. So Trump announces he's running for president. You know this is a podcast that doesn't like to talk politics, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But let me tell you something, man. For everything that people, whether you hate him or you like him, right, the man's smart. And when I say that, I mean it in the sense that obviously he didn't win the last election, right? So he can still run another term. And people have kind of seen what it's like with Biden, right? We've been dealing with them. Some people like Biden, a lot of people don't. And a lot of people have been like, yeah, well, we should have just went with Trump instead. So what does Trump say? Okay, I'll run again. And now they're going to have to kind of choose between the lesser of the two evils, right? And even if you hate him, in a sense, Trump looks like the lesser of the two evils when it comes to Biden. I'm not saying I'm a Trump fan. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm a Biden fan, right? All I'm saying is Trump played it smart. He let the U.S. see what it's like without him, and now he's like, I'm back. Hey, we're here to make America great. So the motherfucker's not stupid, man. He's not stupid. It's gonna be an interesting race. Who are they gonna find to run against him? Because Biden won't beat him. Sorry to say it. Biden will not beat Trump. Trump will have way too many supporters. It's not going to happen. So they're going to have to find somebody very strong to run against him. I'm excited to see when that comes along, right? But if you're familiar with the case that had been going on, everybody, with Darrell Brooks, right? Darrell Brooks was the gentleman who drove his SUV into the Christmas celebration, right? As people were celebrating up north, he drove his SUV, killed 6 people, right? They finally sentenced him today. Sentenced that man to life in prison, right? Hey, if it was me, I'd have given him the death penalty. You drove your vehicle, killed 6 people. But Darrell Brooks, I mean, that whole case was just, it was ridiculous, man. The guy, you could tell he was trying to get the insanity plea because he was acting like an absolute fool in court, saying he was going to represent himself. He didn't want counsel. He didn't want the lawyers, right? He was just going to defend himself. Darrell Brooks acted like a fool in that court, and the judge kind of allowed it. She did her best to kind of control it, but ultimately they end up giving him life in prison. So it's, I'm glad he won't see the light of day. We'll see how that goes, right? But I think, hey, go live your life out. All right. Let's have a little sidebar here, right? Let's have a little conversation, okay? Y'all know, right? I see my fellas on here. I got my fellas on Facebook. I got my fellas on Twitch. And let's talk about it, right? This is a new world that we live in, right? Growing up, watching my mom and dad married, right? It was very traditional, right? My mom cooked, my mom cleaned. My dad also cooked at times, right? That's what he did for a living. My dad was a cook. He was a chef, right? So, but it's very traditional, kind of Hispanic household, right? They both worked, right? Hardworking people. And that's what I kind of grew to know, right? The love was there. When I asked him as I got a little older, right? Hey, how did y'all meet? How did y'all, my dad's like, oh, we started off as friends, and then, it developed into a relationship. And so that's kind of how I've always based myself. Now, right, my relationships. Hey, let's start it off, right? I've always kind of been told a good relationship starts with a great friendship, right? You gotta be able to trust the person you're gonna be dating or married to or whatever it is, right? But these females these days, they can't make up their motherfucking mind, right? And help me out here, guys, right? I'm a single young man, right? I'm 39 years old and I still can't figure out these women, man. I mean, you get these women and they talk about, oh, I want a man who is my friend and my better half, and I want to love him and somebody who's going to love me and yada, yada, yada. But then when a guy does try to be their friend, what do they do? What do they do? They friend zone him. Nah, he's just my friend. That's just my friend. Bitch, he tried to take step one. He was on step one, and why are you gonna keep him on step one? So ladies out there, right? You're watching this, ladies. Help explain this to me. There's only a few things I know about women, right? To keep women happy, I believe there's 3 things as a man we got to do to keep women happy. 1, we got to feed them, right? If we can keep our woman fed, generally they're happy and they won't fuck with us, right? 2, be honest with them, right? To a sense, right? Don't cheat on them, right? Be honest with your woman, right? That's the second thing that as men we can do that I know for sure to keep our woman happy. And the third? Well, the third's simple. You got to lay it down right? You got to knock it out right. Now, here's the funny part, right? Here's where it gets tricky. If you can do number 3 right, if you can lay that pipe right, you can skip 1 and 2, right? So if you lay the pipe down right, usually she buys you food. Am I right, fellas? Can I get an amen, right? If you knock it out right, usually she buys you the food, right? And then if you knock it out right, I don't care what you do. You cheat on them? Yeah, but I love him, girl. She'll be telling her friends, I love him though. I know he cheated, but he won't do it again. And that'll be on cheat number 5, right? I mean, let's be honest. If you knock it out right as a fella, you can pretty much get away with anything with her, right? But, right, let's be honest. 90% of the men out there have to do 1 and 2, right? Because 90% of the men probably ain't gonna knock it out right? So you gotta do step 1 and step 2, right? So my thing though is they want a friendship to develop into a relationship. But then if we start off with the friendship, then it's like, oh, but yeah, now I only look at you as a friend. So what the fuck you want us to do? You crazy women out there, what do you want? Fellas, give me some feedback here, fellas. What do you think? Talk to me. You chat me here live on Twitch, chat me live on Facebook, send me a message. Let me know what you think because I'm curious. I want to know. And if women, if you're in here, send me a message as well. Let us know. Also, just an FYI, in case you missed a part of the show, or hey, you want to go and send this to your friends and say, check out this motherfucker. He's a little bit crazy. He talks all kinds of stuff. You can also go to our YouTube page, The Ham Podcast on YouTube. You can watch all our episodes there. It's an amazing show. We've talked about all kinds of shit. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining me on this Wednesday night. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night here in Texas. It's nice and cool, right? But back to the ladies, right? So I want to know, what do we have to do as fellas to cut the bullshit, right? What do we have to do, right? And then here's another thing, right? And fellas, tell me if I'm right here, okay? Today in society, we value certain things as men, right? When it comes to our women, right? We value beauty, right? We want somebody who's beautiful, right? We value honesty, right? We want a woman that's going to be honest with us, right? And then we value loyalty, right? This day and age, man, how many women are truly loyal out there, right? Let's be real. And women, if I'm wrong, please comment, let me know, right? Let me know, women, if I'm wrong here. But there's not a lot of women that are loyal nowadays. There's not a lot of women that care, right, about their beauty. How many times do I walk around, and even in the summertime, I see women just kind of sweatpants, sweatshirt, you know. Back in my day growing up, man, you couldn't find my mama and my aunts in sweatpants, right? You weren't going to find these girls just kind of, you know, no makeup on. You know, my mom always wore makeup till she went to bed, right? She made sure she looked good at all times for my dad, right? It just is what it is. That's just how they grew up. They got it from their mom from their mom, so on and so forth, right? But nowadays, I feel like women want everything from a man, but aren't willing to give everything, right? They aren't willing to give up a little bit, right? And if I'm wrong, women, tell me, comment. I'm not going to get, this is an open forum, right? I value everybody's opinion in here. I'd love to get some feedback from the women. But, and again, I'm not saying all women, not what I'm implying at all, right? I'm not saying all women are like this, but a vast majority nowadays, yeah, it's a little bit of a letdown, right? A little bit of a letdown. So I think, if anything, nowadays, it's gone the opposite, right? Nowadays, you'll find more men who are concerned about health, who are concerned about working out, who are concerned about looking their best, dressing sharp, right? Looking nice. While most women aren't as concerned with that. They feel like, I've got the power, I've got the vagina, I can control it, I'm not worried. I don't have to do all that other stuff now. Right? I don't have to worry about looking good. I don't have to worry about wearing makeup all the time. I don't have to worry about cooking for men, right? We can order Uber Eats. We can order DoorDash, right? No, I'm old fashioned. I still want a woman that'll come in here and cook a good meal. But in return, I don't mind cooking either, right? Men, nowadays, a lot of men love to cook. We love to barbecue, right? We love to cook in the house, right? I know me and my friends, we all love to cook, right? So I think we need to find a middle ground here, women, right? Us men and you women, we need to meet up in the middle and kind of find that common ground, because I think right now you've taken a step back. And I'm sorry to say that for most women, not every woman, not all women, right? Let me clarify that again. Not all women, but most women have taken a step back when it comes to presenting themselves, when it comes to, like, I just feel that women have been a bit of a letdown. Welcome in. I see we got a couple women in here now, right? We got a Vanya Diaz, we got a Michaela. So this is an interesting time that y'all join, right? So we're talking about how women, right? It's very confusing. So there's a big misconception that a lot of people like to start off relationships with the friendship first. Right? Hey, let's be friends. And, you know, I believe that, right? A good relationship has to have some type of friendship foundation. But now you get so many women who are like, oh yeah, he's a good friend, but that's it. Oh yeah, he's a good friend, but that's it. But they'll go and date these dudes that have 3 felonies, 6 baby mamas. I mean, maybe a high school diploma, maybe if they're lucky, right? Maybe not even a GED. It's very discouraging for good guys out there. And I think that's why you see so many men now that are still single, right? So many men that are still single. So women, give me your thoughts, right? Here I am live on Twitch, live on Facebook, simultaneously doing the damn thing here on the Ham Podcast, doing what I do best, which is run my mouth. So tell me what you think, ladies. I see y'all in the chat. Don't be shy now. Type your message to John Helmke here and let me know what you're thinking, right? Is it the men's fault? Men are single because they don't act like men. All right, here we go. I love it. I love it. So let me ask a question. How are men supposed to act? Right? Give me an example of how men are supposed to act. Right? And I guess this is my best Andrew Tate impression. No, I'm playing. I'm not a top G. But welcome in, Ramito. Welcome in. So Michaela says men are single because they don't act like men. I already have a vagina. I don't need another one. Okay, so what you're saying is the masculinity of men has dropped. That's what it sounds like you're saying. The masculinity of men have dropped. So let's talk about that, right? So I feel though that a lot of women feel that the masculinity of men have dropped because we have this empowerment of women, right? I'm a woman. I don't need a man. I can do this on my own. And when a man tries to help, no, you're suffocating me, right? I don't need you to do this for me. I'm an independent woman, right? All that nonsense, right? Which is good for y'all. I'm glad y'all have that empowerment now. But how do you expect us to be a man if you don't allow us to be? If you don't let us be a man, how do you expect us to be a man? Right? Michaela says, nah, fuck that. I need someone to pay all my bills. I love it. I love it. I love the honesty, right? And that's, I mean, hey, growing up, that's how it was in my house. My dad took care of the bills. My mom cooked. My mom cleaned. My mom took care of me and my sister. Hey, I get it, right? It wasn't until the late 90s came and stuff was more expensive, and then it's like, okay, we both got to work, but hey, I get it, right? That's how I've always looked at it. But so many women nowadays have kind of stolen the masculinity from men because of this empowerment of women. We want to be taken serious and we're strong as well. Fellas, let me know what you think, right? Here I am live on Twitch, the Ham Podcast, live on Facebook. Give me your thoughts, man. Do you think that's what it is, right? Do you feel like women have kind of stolen our masculinity? Michaela says men don't work like they used to. Ooh. Women are the breadwinners at this time. Okay, let's talk about that, right? Because this is a good point, right? There are a lot of women that make a lot of good money, right? And before, the idea was that men got all the best jobs, right? Oh, men are qualified. Men are the most qualified for this, and men are the most qualified for that. And then it became, hey, we got to give equal opportunity, which it should always be, right? There should always be equal opportunity. And then it became, hey, they're starting to give these better jobs to women because they don't want to make it seem like that they're not hiring women, right? That they're not giving women a chance. So are women the breadwinners now because they're stealing the top jobs from men? Or are women the breadwinners now because they've earned the top position instead of the men, right? They're better qualified than men. I'm going to be honest with you. I think, and fellas, don't be mad at me here, but I think women are more qualified now, right? I think as times have gone on, so many men have taken this idea of, I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to be I'm going to try to make it professionally in sports, right? I'm going to try to be an actor. I'm going to be an artist, right? While women are going to college for business, are going to college for marketing, are going to college for sports management, are going to college for broadcasting. So yes, I do believe a lot of women are breadwinners now. And I believe it's because they put themselves there. I feel that women within the last 15 to, I say about 10 to 15 years have put themselves in the position to be breadwinners because they're taking practical steps for their future, while a lot of men have taken chances of chasing their dreams, if that makes sense. Pedro says, depends on what kind of men like to work. There's men that like to be supported by, that's a good point. That's a damn good point, Pedro. So there are a lot of men out there that like to be supported by women, And in return, there's women who like to support the men, right? They're, like I said, that woman empowerment. Welcome in, Michael. That woman empowerment where they want to feel like they're the leader. So women, they take these higher jobs, right? They prepared themselves to be the breadwinner and they want to be the breadwinner. So you get a lot of these more, stay-at-home dads and that's a term now, right? Oh, I'm a stay-at-home father. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm a trophy husband, right? Hey, more power to you, right? I get it. Michaela says, no, thank you. Let me get some other feedback from some of the other people in here, right? Welcome in, Melly Z. Welcome to the Ham Podcast. So, like I stated, I've got no problem with women being breadwinners because you all have put yourself there. You've taken the practical steps to make your future better. While I feel a lot of men these days have taken the step, not all men, right? But a lot of men have taken the steps to chase dreams. Right? In the past, and correct me if I'm wrong here, in the past, it was always a female's dream to be successful, right? I remember being in elementary, being in middle school, being in high school, right? The young girls at that time were talking about, I want to be this, and I want to be, I want to work in business. I want to own my own business. I want to, be a politician. I want to do this, right? While you had a lot of these guys that I grew up with, and I'm not saying guys I grew up with, that's not what I'm referring to, but in my generation, they were, I want to be a rapper. I want to play sports. I want to be a professional athlete. I want to be an actor. So we're chasing dreams while women were chasing practical occupations. And now they've got the top spots in a lot of these companies. They're the CEOs, right? While we're trying to make a rap song or we're trying to play, fantasy football, which is fun. I play fantasy football, right? But a lot of our stuff is fantasy, gentlemen. If we want to be taken serious again, we've got to get back on our game. We've got to get back to chasing realistic occupations, right? It's okay to have a side hustle. No doubt about it, gents. We can have a side hustle, right? But if you're mad because you got to listen to everything your girl says and you're mad because she makes the rules and she don't let you go out with the fellas because she makes the money, well, guess what? Step your game up. Step your game up, fellas. Right? And I know I've got some baller fellas in here, man. I've got some fellas in this chat right now, both on Twitch and both on Facebook, that don't have that problem, right? I know I've got some fellas in here that make a lot of good money, right? They make their own. They make the rules. And that's the kind of men that I roll with. I like that, right? And I'm not saying that it can't be an equal relationship. Not what I'm referring to. But when you're a man and you're mad at your girl for telling you what to do, but you're at home all day playing PlayStation 5 and, you're playing Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, and you're checking your fantasy team because you don't have a job 24/7, that's your fault, buddy. That's your fault, right? Instead of worrying about that next mixtape that you're going to come out with that nobody's listening to, right? Hey, go get that top spot, right? Go get that manager position. I don't care if it's at McDonald's. I don't care if you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but anything you do it well. Be the best at it, right? And we need to get back on our game, gentlemen. We need to. Michaela says men want it to be 50-50, but then have double standards. Here we go. I was waiting for this. This is the moment. What are the double standards that we are referring to? Please tell me. Please. Once again, guys, if you want to follow the Ham Podcast on Twitter, it's _ham_podcast. We also have our Instagram, _H_A_M_podcast. You can also go back on our YouTube and watch our previous videos. The Ham Podcast on YouTube, amazing content. I mean, look, man, I love what I do, right? I have a pretty decent job. I make decent money. I'm not going to say it's great money, but I make decent money. And this podcast is my side hustle, right? It's something fun. It's a dream of mine, right? I dreamed that one day I can make a great income off of my podcast, but I'm not going to quit my job till that happens, right? And I think that's where a lot of people, men and women, make their mistake, right? Don't quit your job until your dream's 100% done, right? So until you're there, right? So yeah, we need to get it together, both men and women. I think we can do this. But yeah, Michaela, I'm still waiting for this 50-50 standards. What are you, this double standards? What are you talking about, girl? What are these double standards that you are referring to? Because I'm curious. I'd like to know. Because the only double standard out there right now that I know of is that is against, oh, here we go. They want women to pay half of the bills, but she can't do whatever she wants or wear whatever she wants. Double standard. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. Okay, obviously I've already told y'all I'm a single man, right? If I was dating somebody and she's paying half the bills, right? And obviously it's got to be a serious relationship if she's paying half my bills. Because if I'm just dating somebody, I'm not expecting baby girl to pay my bills at all. I pay my own bills, right? But if it's a serious relationship and she's paying half the bills, let's say we're married, my girl can wear whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants as long as I know she's keeping it to herself, right? Just keep it to yourself, girl. But if you're out there being a soucia, then yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem, right? But yes, you're right, Michaela. There are some men that have that double standard. But then at the same time, there is that double standard that women have on men as well. She says if a man pays for everything, then he can tell them what to do, not if they're paying half. I agree to a certain extent, okay? Even if a man is paying for everything or if a woman is paying for everything, I don't think either one should tell them what to do, right? We're dating, right? If I'm paying for everything, it's for a reason. It's because I want to, right? I'm not paying everything so that I can tell you what to do, right? I'm paying for everything because as your man, that's what I want to do, right? I'm not buying a person, right? I'm not. I'm hoping to have a relationship. And in that relationship, if I feel like I'm the one that's going to pay for everything, then that's on me. Pedro says, wrong, man. Need a man. Wrong, man. Need a man with hustle. Yes. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know Pedro is a man with hustle. By the way, guys, if y'all need some work done, reach out to Pedro. He is excellent at working on houses. So Pedro, feel free to comment later what you're good at. But yes, like I stated, right? Both men, I mean, look, no man, no woman should tell the other one what to do all the time, regardless of who pays what, right? Welcome in, Denise. Regardless of who pays what. Like I stated, if one person's paying for, let's say, all the bills, that's because they made that conscious choice to do that, right? If I'm in a relationship with somebody and I'm paying all the bills, I'm not paying all the bills because I want to tell her what to do and control her. I'm paying all the bills because I feel that as the man in that relationship, or maybe I feel I make more than she does, right? So I should be the one paying all the bills. Then I'm going to pay all the bills for that reason, not to control her. And it should be the other way around as well, because I've seen plenty of times where women in the relationship, and not all the time, I've seen it plenty of times, not all the time, but there's women that make more than their man, and they try to tell their man where they can go, when they can come home, when they have to be home, who they can hang out with, right? What to wear. I've seen it time and time again, right? So it has to be an understanding. If you want to pay all the bills, or if you're letting him sit at home and not work and you're paying everything, then that's on you, girl. That's on you. Step your game up, right? I'm not saying you, Michaela, this is hypothetical, but that's on the woman, right? You can't complain about what you have if you're letting it happen, right? You can't complain, plain and simple. If you're letting your man sit at home all day and play PlayStation and look at YouTube and eat all the ramen noodles in the cabinet, well, then you can't go and complain about it to your girls because you ain't done nothing about it. You ain't kicked him out, right? You haven't said, hey, boy, you need to get a job, baby. Like, I can't keep paying all the bills, right? And if you have and you still let him sit here, that's on y'all. Just like me. If I'm gonna be in a relationship where I'm getting cheated on, I'm not gonna sit there and turn a blind eye. I ain't Mario Winans, right? It ain't like the song, as long as I don't know. No, hell no. I find out I'm being cheated on, I'm gonna kick her to the curb. Not gonna let her get away with it. So women, if you're unhappy with what you got, maybe it's time to kick it to the curb. Maybe it's time for you to say, you gots to go. You ain't got to go home, but you can't be here anymore. Does that make sense? Banya Diaz says, it's 50-50 in our relationship. It's hard nowadays, but I wish he would have more ambitions. He's smart, but it's just, he settles, he could do so much more. And that happens. Look, that's a common thing that a lot of people go through, right? Men and women. They do have talent, right? And I'm guilty of this as well at times, right? We've got the talent to go other places, right? And so this is me being vulnerable on my own show. Jesus, look at me, right? But a lot of people get nervous, that comfortability, right? And it's similar to relationships, right? I'm comfortable with the job I have. I don't want to move on. Or I'm comfortable with the person I have. I don't want to start over in another relationship, right? I know I can do better, but I'm comfortable. They really haven't done anything wrong to me. This job really hasn't treated me that bad, right? We always look for that excuse, right? It's scary because when you start over, everybody always, well, maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe it's not. Maybe the grass is greener where you wet it, right? So maybe, yes, there could be a better spot for him or me or whoever, right? Are we truly applying ourselves? Or maybe it is time just to move on to another job, to another relationship, whatever it is, right? So you have to take all those factors in consideration. And sometimes, yeah, you have to jump. And guess what? Some people are afraid of the jump, right? Because they don't know where they're going to land, right? And kudos to the ones that out there that do take that jump, right? To the ones that do jump not knowing where they're going to land because they have faith in themselves. Some people don't have that unwaverable faith, so they're nervous of the jump, right? Is this bungee gonna hold me, right? That hypothetical bungee, is it gonna hold me, or am I gonna fall flat on my face, right? That hypothetically, right? So it can be a nerve-wracking thing, right? Whether it's professionally in your career or whether it's in a relationship, it can be very, very nerve-wracking. So I think if that's an issue you have, hey, sit them down, talk to them, right? Babe, this is what I think, right? But ultimately, you can't force anybody, right, to do that, because at the end of the day, they're going to do what makes them happy. And maybe they don't feel that they could go to a better job or a better relationship at this point, and they're extremely happy on where they're at. So if you force them and then they're unhappy at a better place, who cares if it's better, right? They're unhappy, right? What makes a job or a relationship great is when you're happy. You can have a better looking girl, but if you're not happy, then what's the point? You can have a better paying job, but if you're not happy, what's the point? Alex Gomez, I like this topic. I pay 100% the rent, and I pay our insurance 100% plus our traveling and weekend vehicle. My wife pays little stuff like utilities and our vacation. Hey, that's great. That's a great, 50-50 relationship. You handle the big items, she takes care of the little items and the fun stuff, right? I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great idea. And that's a great partnership, right? That's a great partnership. And if it works for the both of y'all, fuck yeah. Kudos to y'all for finding the piece to that puzzle, right? Some relationships never find that piece. So kudos to you, Alex, and your woman, your wife, right? Kudos to you all. I hope everybody in here can find that missing piece to theirs, right? Again, guys, you're watching The Ham Podcast on Twitch and on Facebook Live, simultaneously doing my thing. We talk about everything on here. If this is your first time watching, we talk sports, we talk movies, we talk music, we talk all kinds of shit, right? Tonight's a little bit of a man and women type situation. Earlier, we're talking about Blueface being arrested, right? So all kinds of things. Yes, Michaela, balance. Balance is the key. Alex, yeah, it actually does. And we have our spaces as well to hang out with friends and family. That's amazing. Alex, where do I find this, right? Where do no, but that's amazing. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. But that's what we all strive for, right? Even here on the Ham Podcast, that's what we're striving for everybody to be happy, right? Relationships should be 50-50, right? Just like we stated, just because one person pays the bills doesn't mean the other person should be shunned upon, right? They shouldn't be. If that person decides they're the ones that want to pay the bills, that's on them. They chose to. If I'm in a relationship, I'm paying the bills. It's not because I want to control her. It's because I want to. I look at myself as the person who should be, right? If a woman decides she wants to pay all those bills for her man, that's on her, right? So women, again, and men, you can't downplay your significant other if you're allowing it to happen. You can't be mad at them. You can only be mad at yourself. All right. That's a little nugget there. You can only be mad at yourself until you try to fix the situation. What up, Yokester? What up, first timer? Welcome, Yokester, to the Ham Podcast. Once again, that's the Ham Podcast. That's Helmke and Mike Podcast. Mike could not join us tonight. So tonight, Ham stands for Fat Boy because that's what I am. Welcome in, Rosalind. Welcome to the Ham Podcast. Welcome, first time viewer. I know that, Rosalind. Welcome in. So, yeah, guys, this has been a phenomenal Wednesday, right? Phenomenal topics. Again, team. I mean, I say team, right? Because we are a team. The Ham Podcast is a motherfucking team. If you have topics you want to talk about, send them to me, right? Drop them on the YouTube, the Ham Podcast. Drop them here in the Ham Podcast Facebook, or go to our Twitch. Leave us a comment, right? The Ham Podcast. Let us know some of the things you want. I am a man of the people. It's what I do. I love to please the people. So if you have a topic that you want to discuss, or you have a question, you need advice, whatever, I'm here. I am the man with the plan. So please leave us some comments. Be more than happy to. Pedro says it's always 50-50. I work, she works at home. Love it. Love it. Yokester says it's the woman's fault most. There it is. There, the bomb's been dropped. Women, let him know. He says it's the woman's fault most of the time. Yokester, are you single? Let us know, Yokester. Last time I made a comment like that, that's what made me single. Yokester's a jokester. I love it. I love it. Love it. But yes, everybody, 50-50 is the way to go. And if you can't handle 50-50, then step your game up. Denise, kick him out, please. Yokester, you've made some enemies, my man. You have made some enemies. Welcome in, Joseph. Welcome in. So once again, everybody, Ham Podcast, love it. If you have something you want to talk about next week, please let me know. I'll make sure to include it in the show. Guys, we're looking to take this Ham Podcast bigger and better, right? Not only am I going live on Facebook and Twitch now, Twitch is our main site, but also here on podcast. I'm going to look to start doing Instagram as well. We already have our Instagram page. If you don't follow us yet, go to _H_A_M_podcast. Also our Twitter, _Ham_podcast. You can go to our YouTube, watch the previous videos on the Ham Podcast YouTube. Joseph, what's going on? JC Saint, welcome in. Guys, I want to end the show with this, right? Last thing, I'm a big UFC fan. There was some bad news that came out Monday. We had the loss of a former UFC fighter, Anthony Rumble Johnson, 38 years young. Hasn't been disclosed how he passed away yet. I know that he had mentioned before that he was sick. He didn't say he was sick with what, whether it's cancer or what it was. He said he wanted to keep it between him and his family. Unfortunately, whatever he was sick with, he had finally passed away this Monday. So kudos, love goes out to him and his family and to all the MMA world that knew him. Yokester says, yeah, I'm single and ready to mingle. Haters coming out already. Yokester, my man. I love it. Guys, I love tonight's episode. It has been absolutely fucking amazing. You guys have been in a tremendous audience. Again, we're going to end the show with this, team. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. All right, caring and sharing, team. Get out there, love the world, love yourself, and love thy neighbor. I'll see y'all. What's going on, Simone? I will see y'all next week, 8:30 p.m. Central, live here on Facebook, live on Twitch, whichever one you want to see us. We'll have a banging ass show next week. Again, drop your topics, what you want to hear. That little Seco Yokester. There it is. I love it. Team, everybody out there, it's been amazing. Y'all have a great rest of the week. Party safe, party responsibly. Love everybody. All right, It's been a great show, everybody. Y'all have an amazing night. See y'all on the flip side. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. See y'all next.